Definitely still trying to get mommy to saca de la leche. Know if I take her out,
I can pop her the next day. Come on, bro.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Timothy Lamar Cato III, but you can call me Cato III or simply Cato. And this is I Got More to Say, a podcast where we talk everything hip-hop culture, rather it's fashion, rather it's the industry, rather it's marketing, rather it's promotion, rather it's current events. We talk about it. Peace and blessings to everybody. Thank you for joining me today. And speaking about joining me today, I have a player partner of mine. Now, I'm going to let this man introduce himself, but I got to do him some justice. Hailing all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. Tennessee. Yes, you heard it. Memphis, Tennessee's very own. This young man, I believe is from Kill Branch or Mill Branch, as it's morally known. But this young man hailing all the way from the Kill Branch neighborhood of Memphis, Tennessee, went to Prairie View A&M, does not know what losing to Grambling looks like at all.
Grand packing the L.
Yes, 4 years of whooping Grambling's ass. Went on to graduate, met him here at Newhouse. He is a broadcasting and digital journalism major. Well, and according to him, and I know it's going to be true, will be the first person on ESPN with a Cuban link.
I'm like, damn, I'm looking like, who you talking about?
My player, here. My brother, Joshua Crawford. Everybody welcome Josh. Josh, what's happening with your player?
Y'all know me in real life, so I don't try to be too braggadocious, but I was like, damn, dude, cold. Like, dude, he talking about got a lot of accolades, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's fine. That's a good guess, Kato, good guess. Atlanta culture is very similar to, like, Memphis culture, for sure.
Gotcha. Now, speaking of the Memphis culture, you being a young man, so you talked about how, you pretty much got to, like how your family settled in Memphis.
Yeah.
Describe the Memphis culture from your point of view, because you're a football player. You're obviously into the music. Into the hip hop industry. Your father. I don't want to give away all his business, but he worked with 8 Ball and MJG young in their careers.
Like, they tell us as you're going through media training, like, you allow yourself to shine. So yes, Kato, I am pretty known around the city. I was a good. I actually, like, I think I told you this. I grew up playing basketball under Penny. I got my 1 cent hoodie on. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh,
shout out Penny. You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to Penny.
Shout out Penny. So Memphis is a hoop city though, because it's like that's like the real. Because even down south, like football is not like just SEC country really, but basketball, Memphis and Atlanta is like really the thing. So like that's what I grew up playing, honestly. So I played for Penny, I played for Memphis City Magic, you know what I'm saying, different AAU teams. But y'all can probably tell my body kind of grew naturally towards football. But yeah, like I grew up as a known athlete in the city. My dad, like you said, it was a turn, and then like being a sports age and then just having some of the other things that he went through. Like he's also a very known thing. Like Crawford is a known name in Memphis. So for me, like that always like shaped my experience, because that's not like I'm not a nobody. Not to brag about. I'm not.
You tell the truth.
I'm not a nobody. So it was definitely shaped my experience a little bit. But like it is rough and tumble. Like I seen things like to where like I'm playing high school. Like I'll give this example. Like growing up, the violence and whatnot it's almost like daring your life, but you can't allow it just to stop your daily life. You feel what I'm saying? Like I done lost, what I'm saying, 5-6 friends to like gun violence, stuff like that.
Man, rest in peace. And I'm
sorry
about
for
that,
sure.
Josh. My prayers and my thoughts is with you and their families.
I appreciate that. And it's a thing to where like, rightfully wrong, maybe it numbs you or whatever, but like you do have a sense of like, just keep pushing, keep progressing. And but as I've gotten older, I do look at myself and my brothers and people that, I do talk to, make it like it is a lot. It is very special, because even, now it's a lot of, they taking people out in our city like it's going out of style for sure. Yeah. But for me, the sports stuff growing up, like it was very competitive. Always a very competitive sports town. Like you would see like the guys on the sideline, see like the drug dealers on the sideline having their money out, having their weight out. You feel what I'm saying? Throwing their weight around in the games. Like you feel what I'm saying? I done put a lot of money on this game, young boy. Like you better come through. Like you feel what I'm saying? Or these consequences gonna go outside of you. You feel what I'm saying? Losing this next game.
They betting on high school games.
Nah, for sure. Lots of money.
Shit.
Lots of money. Like my cousin, Adonis Thomas. He went to Melrose.
Shout out Adonis.
He was like top 5-star. And there was another guy in the city. A lot of people may know him, Joe Jackson. He's like the leading scorer in Memphis City basketball. He scored like 4,000 points in high school.
Dang.
So like him, Adonis and Joe played at White Station. They got the biggest gym in the city. Or they did when it was. It was like standing room only. They were charging like $65 to get in the game. And like the court side seats was like Like, yeah, you having money down there. Like, I'm dude family. I went in on court side. That's how to let you know. Me and my auntie, we sitting like in the middle, the top middle. We seen a whole bunch of dudes that looking, you know what I'm saying, looking like they do what they do on court side. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, definitely negative in the culture, but it's just a very competitive environment. It's just like, you know, when I became an athlete, I became known in the city like that. It was like, you know, a crazy thing, but, you know.
You got to be known for something.
Pressure busts pipes or it makes diamonds. You know what I'm saying?
They made a diamond with my dog, Josh, definitely. Josh, real quick, thank you for that. Josh, you mentioned something about Memphis, and you said, hold on, I forgot for a second. Oh, you talk about the violence. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
For sure, I guess.
But I read that Memphis, I think, is top 5 when it comes to the overall murder rate.
Unfortunately so. Probably.
Unfortunately so.
That makes sense.
And then also, too, from my understanding, Memphis got every single, a lot of major gangs, Vice Lords, Gangster Disciples or GDs, Crips, Bloods. I mean, y'all have a lot of, the gang culture in Memphis is
pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
Like that, you know what I'm saying?
How do you feel like that impacts the city?
Like gang culture is, in most major cities, gang culture is pretty prevalent. You look at a place like L.A.
Because real quick, I'm sorry.
Like
L.A. is known for the gang culture.
Sure.
New York is known for the gang culture. I think that Memphis is criminally underrated as far as the culture. That
irony
Memphis
right there.
and Houston is criminally underrated.
They be
as far
soft in
as
Houston. They be a little soft. Shout out my Houston, but they be a little soft though.
Okay,
some little Charmin action.
Oh damn. Okay, but yeah, they're very like I said, it's very prevalent in the city of Memphis. So I'm sorry. Let me continue to ask that. I just always like to give background information for the listeners.
No, you for like I understand.
But but how does that impact and influence the city?
I mean, like I said, like gang culture and stuff like that is very prevalent. Like I said, I grew up in Memphis. I went to school in Houston, so like that's I can speak on Houston dudes with some sort of intentionality. You know what I'm saying? It's a place in Houston you definitely want to go. A-Leaf, places like that. But you know, like you said in Memphis, because it's a really a small place if you look at the actual size of the city. Because we're bordered by Mississippi, we're bordered by Arkansas, and you know you got those hanger-on people from Arkansas and Mississippi, whatever, just want to claim Memphis. And it comes to, you know, we know about, you know, we're all smart enough in here to know what survivor syndrome and people want to emulate people that look like they popping and doing stuff it looks like. So I think a lot of the gang culture is now more of like pretense. A lot of people want to look like they in the set. A lot of people want to, you know, because even like recipes of the homie Scar, Alex, that's his government name. That's what my mama named him. You know what I'm saying? He was double R. And a lot of people
I'm sorry, what's double R?
Like, that's how you know I'm not in the streets no more. I don't even know what it is. Okay. I don't know what it stands for.
But it's a gang. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
we'll
and like outside of, like once Scar really got on, like a lot of people was really jacking like double R. And it's like, I'm not in the streets no more. So I'm not in the gang politics, and I don't know when that gang became whatever, but like I look at it as a lot more of a put on thing, or like popularity thing, or acting tough. I feel like, you know, talking to, you know, we was calling it like talking to my pops and just, you know, unfortunately having some of the experience I had, like, you know, a lot of the true gangsters not in the streets no more. Like social media to kill the streets, really. So I think that a lot the gang culture that you see nowadays is really more of a, let me make sure that people know I'm affiliated with somebody tough, or I guess if it come down to, I can call somebody that's actually tough to handle my problems versus like
I really handle them myself,
or even just actual gang members, like dudes moving as, you know, all guys that was really bad at action. It's not a lot of that no more.
And you spoke about Memphis, about how you guys border Arkansas and Mississippi. For those of you guys who don't know, Memphis is in Shelby County.
Factuals.
And Shelby County is literally, because Memphis
he
is
did some research for sure.
It's pretty much, Memphis is pretty much a rectangle. And Shelby County is,
but I say like a rectangle with like a triangle top at the top. Because like once you get into Tennessee, there would be no cutoff. Because like people be false claiming. People 45 cents outside the city be claiming Memphis. So it's really like we cut it off, like you said, at the tip of Shelby County.
Yeah.
Because even like me, like playing
Shelby County's in the bottom corner of
exactly.
Tennessee.
And when like if you look at it like the voting map or whatever, like it only extends like 20 miles outside of, like you said, downtown Memphis, maybe 30. Because like there's a Shelby County, it's Memphis. But I can drive to like Fayette County. Fayette County, the next county over, is only like 30 minutes away. But it's like very much more rural. That's where you get the Tennessee. So like Shelby County is like I said, that it can quickly merge from like urban metropolitan like country like real fast for sure.
Gotcha. Now Shelby County, appreciate that, Josh. So Shelby County is in the bottom corner of Tennessee, and the reason why I'm just painting this picture is because, you know, as Josh said, he's from East Memphis. There's a North Memphis. Shout out to Project Pat, North. And then there's a South Memphis. There is no West Memphis. If you're West Memphis,
if for West Memphis, you Arkansas, you lame. Stop claiming my city, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem, a prevalent problem. You know what I'm saying? Oh, girl, Amaretta said it like, United Atlanta, like, there is no West Memphis. I got a couple dudes in mind I'm talking about, but the Lord told me to move past that time in my life. But thank you, Kato. It ain't no West Memphis. And Memphis or in Tennessee.
No West Memphis. From this is like I said, y'all. This is something that I've researched. But yeah, West Memphis, that's Arkansas.
Man, y'all better go ride with the Razorbacks, bro. They are not from the city. Y'all cross the whole bridge to come to the mall.
Damn.
Like it's bad, bro. False claim. Like I guess we cool. Like people want to be us. Like, but nah, it's West Memphis. Like you crossing the bridge, bro.
Now jumping into something else you talked about. You talked about just how Memphis. You didn't necessarily say this, but this is something that I've heard and kind of seen and researched, and I feel like you hit on this. Memphis, from the outside looking in, a lot of the guys in Memphis, especially a lot of the dudes getting money, we already spoke about how they get their money, but they're flashy. Not only are they flashy, I feel like a lot of Memphis dudes are flashy, and a lot of Memphis dudes, and Project Pat said this in an interview, Memphis is a city full of leaders.
I can believe it, because it's like, and I think street culture is flashy, and I think that I mean, Memphis is heavily embedded in street culture, and that's where that comes from. But I don't think that Memphis, just independent of itself, is just a necessarily more flashy place than others. It's just that it's a lot of street shenanigans happening in Memphis, and even for me, like the guys that you look up growing to, like what they look like they got the Fendi, they got the Gucci, they got the earrings, they got the chains. You feel what I'm saying? As somebody that 8, 9, 10, 11 years old doesn't really understand, truly what the modicum of success looks like, that is what I want to look like.
Facts.
Shoot, even me now, like, I do, like, you know what I'm saying? Part of being in this space, like, I'm authentically myself. So if I can't come into a room and I'm dressed in a Fendi hat and I got my earrings on, I got my shade on, and you can't acknowledge, or not even acknowledge, but that's not accepted where in that space, I don't feel comfortable. So in that, you know what I'm saying? That's a trickle-down effect from, being from the city. So it is like, yeah, we some flashy dudes. I like that, like you said, Pat, that we are like a city full of leaders, not a lot of followers going on.
Yeah.
But the flashiness, like, because I think you could pull 10 dudes out of Memphis and 10 dudes out of Miami and 10 dudes out of New Orleans, and they'll look very similar. I think flashy is more street culture than specifically like Memphis.
And I didn't mean flashy in a disrespectful.
No, it's good because, like I said, like you go to Atlanta, a lot of the Atlanta dudes, Atlanta be a little out of their pocket a little bit, but a lot of the Memphis dudes dressing like Atlanta dudes and vice versa, and it look the same. And you know what I'm saying? You go to Lennox to get fresh. You feel what I'm saying? And it's just. Because, and again, you go on the Lennox and they have stuff that looks fresh to us. They're not having, saying Brooks Brothers and stuff like that in there. They're having the stuff that we want to look good in. Definitely. So I think that it's like more just a culture thing, I guess, specifically like a geography thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, because, I mean, where's it going with this? Yeah, because when Project Pat said that, I'm like, man, like, I was like, I can't see that because, like, as far as even like the rappers that I be looking at, I'm like, man, you know what? A lot of the dudes in Memphis, even from a fashion standpoint, got their own style. And then, PRE and CMG. I mean, this city is so small.
Dolph, man.
Yeah, definitely rest in peace to Dolph. We're going to touch on that. But this city is so small that we don't necessarily, really look into like, damn, like you got these two guys between Dolph and G.O.A.T who done put all these dudes on. And this is a very small city.
You can't say that.
Yeah, they put all these dudes on, and this is a very small city. So I'm just like, man, you know what? It makes sense. And then, I even look at it like the camp underneath. Like you look underneath G.O.A.T, you got Bag on some
Bird Gang BG.
Yeah, you got Bag on some Get Money. You know what I'm saying? Ball status stuff. Glock underneath Dolph is on some Get Money, ball status stuff. Really all the PRE, all the CMG. Black Youngster. Like it just seems like
heavy camp. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like we could team up and we could be partners, but at the same time, not only can we team up, we could be partners, we get this money together, but all right, cool. You still support me in the fact that I want to be my own boss. You still support me in the fact that I want to boss up. And I feel like that's a really unique thing when you look at the two major labels of Memphis right now.
I mean, that's a thing to where, we'll talk about it a little later, like, it used to be like, cause like you got a lot of cities where it's one Don, and the Don is the main guy putting people on. I was in Houston with Jay Prince. He's the
head honcho.
It's going kind of bad for him right now, but like he's still undisputedly.
If you come to Houston on some rapping shit or on some street shit, you need to check in with him.
For sure. And that checking in shit is real. Yeah. Like people, do what you gotta do to stay safe. So like that chicken in shit is real. Yeah. But like you go to different cities, like there's usually like one Don or head honcho or whatever that like really control the action in the city. And Dolph really was the guy that broke through that mode for Memphis.
Yeah.
Like
because Dolph was underneath a man by the name of Daddy-O, correct?
Yeah.
Daddy-O was pretty much like I ain't gonna put nothing out there about him that I don't know, but Daddy-O pretty much, I remember in one of Dolph's interview, King of Memphis, on his documentary with World Star, he was like, Daddy-O's the first dude to show me $500,000. So Dolph is like, underneath him, right?
Nah, for sure. Like everybody has somebody that put him on and gives him a start or whatnot.
Yeah, and Daddy-O was that man for Dolph.
And but here's the thing, like Dolph, I feel like I knowing people that being close to and stuff like that. It's like he had like a lot of opportunities to really get put on, like really take a lot of money from like Gucci was really because Gucci has always had an eye for like just start like good talent. And, I guess fortunately, a lot of it's been from our city. So like he was like. He had been after Dolph for like a long time, like the high class street music. Dolph is talking about it, and that's like 2010, 2011. So like people knew early on that like this is gonna be one of them dudes. I think like 2 Chainz, I think tried to sign him a little bit too. Like he was really one of the ones in the city, and like G.O.A.T wasn't like no different. So Dolph was one of the first people to like really break through and like establish himself as one of them pillars next to G.O.A.T. And I do think that was G.O.A.T never like that, like. Because like you said, most major cities are set up as like a one Don system and it trickled down. And Dolph was never going for none of that. He's a self-made millionaire. Like he's rapping about it in the song, but he really is. They don't take no handout, don't take out no money. And like a lot of people don't like that, bro. Especially if it's not the way they usually go. Who's this young dude in here getting money? Continuously defying odds, essentially. So you talk about like the violence, like I think it's just the hatred. A lot of hatred and jealousies are really, you get into that pot.
Gotcha. You guys, today Josh did me the pleasure of inviting one of the most prominent and successful people that I probably all time in Memphis.
Oh God.
Hey, bro, I gotta make sure that I give him his proper introduction. We have Papa Scott Crawford here with us today. Papa Scott, how are you doing?
Good, I'm good. How about you guys?
Oh, man, Papa Scott, I'm extremely blessed, and I just want to tell you that I'm thankful just to have you here on the show and just for you to tell us just about Memphis and the rap culture and just your experiences. Papa Scott, if you wouldn't mind, can you please just detail a little bit about your life and how you got started within the 90s, or I don't know if you started in the 90s or maybe started in the 80s, but the 80s and 90s Memphis rap scene and what your role was?
No, I mean, one of the things about me is I used to be a criminal defense lawyer, and unfortunately, as we hear in the news nowadays, entertainers and athletes always have a propensity to get in trouble. So I started out originally doing some work for Tony Draper, who was the founder of 12 House Records, and I ended up helping him do some promotions for MJG and 8Ball and reviewing contracts and helping sort of bridge the gap when he moved his operation from Memphis to Houston, and from Houston to Atlanta. So, I mean, I spent many hours in the studio with MJG 8Ball. One of the greatest podcasters now, Gilly the Kid, was originally.
You like Gilly.
So, I mean, there's just been, I've done everything from a legal aspect to representing to doing contracts to getting guys out of trouble. So I moved from that in the late 90s to working with some of the guys with 3-6 Mafia in regards to some contractual issues. And from that, I branched out to actually producing an album for Coops Danica, one of the artists from 3-6 Mafia. So, there's not an aspect of the Memphis music game that I unfortunately have or have not been involved in.
And him and Coop was, was in contact. He was crazy because, like I said, me and my mother not together, but Coop moved next door to me and my mother's house.
Yeah.
Like, when was this? Like, what, 2011, 2012?
Yeah, he passed away.
And they was in contact till he had his aneurysm in 2016, I think.
2015.
Or 2015, exactly. So,
April
like,
30th, 2015, I think Coop.
It is deep. Like, you know what I'm saying? People do stuff together and make products and make music, but like you're seeing, the stuff that they both went through. Like at the end of the day, it's two black men, embracing each other. At the end of the day, I see it.
Well, real quick. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Scott. Papa Scott.
My thing is music is a part of. There's two things that Memphis is always gonna be about: basketball and music.
Yes, sir.
And 3-6 Mafia, Prophet Posse. I mean, all these guys, unfortunately, right or wrong, had their run-ins with the law, and that's how I got it. I mean, I even had some initial conversations with representing G.O.A.T when he first was getting into the music business. So, I mean, there's so many connections with me and things like that, even to the point that I've had some connections with some of the boys from Louisiana. I don't talk about it a lot, but, a Turk was somebody I represented for a little while. So My history with the music business is not just limited to Memphis, but I'm born and raised in Memphis, and it's just been a great thing.
So yeah, Papa Scott, I just wanted to give you your flowers because just the fact that you are a successful black man, an attorney at that, from Memphis, born and raised in a city like Memphis, especially during the 80s and the 90s when Memphis has always been wild, but especially when it was wild back then. And just for you to be directly involved in just so much rap history, especially Southern rap history, which I feel like has more of an influence than what people understand, I definitely want to give you your flowers and definitely just let you know how inspired I am by that.
No, I mean, Josh will tell you, my whole thing is that, we all need guidance. We all need direction. We've all been through the good and the bad. And some of these dudes got it out of the mud in the streets, and then they took it to the music business. And seeking good counsel was something I always try to do, and I always try to relate to those guys and set them on the right path. And then my general love for music, it just helped me continue to relate to them. And a lot of times, that's what artists need: somebody that can relate to them, that not judging them, that understand where they came from. And I had a similar path, so I was always able to relate and understand the problems that they were facing, and try to help them get the most out of their careers or what they were trying to accomplish.
And I'll jump in right here because me and him talk about this a lot. Mm-hmm. Like you said, look at the older artists and the guys that he was working with, like a 3-6, like a guy that have made it on the other side. And, some of the guys, the young guys, my age, guys that I grew up with, guys I'm running around with, you look at them now and they don't have that counsel and they don't seek out their guidance, even to the point where he'll ask me about it. And you just look at Scar's gone, Pooh locked up, 30 is somewhere with his head down real low. You can see the results of the older age and, the newer generation. And as much as we do fight about that, the proof is in the pudding. Yeah. As much as, you know what I'm saying?
And, Papa Scott, we appreciate you, as Josh is hitting on that, just for being an OG in the game, because one of my favorite rap lyrics is by Don Q. He goes, where I'm from, the young wild niggas just hate to listen because the old heads before us and show us how to make a difference. So the fact that, even from when you first jumped off and, stepped your foot off into this game, that you just had your head, in just a noble and just a dignified place of, man, let me help this artist. Let me make sure I try to keep him out of trouble. Let me make sure I give him the game. Now, you definitely is respected for that, most certainly.
Now, one of the things I learned a long time ago, and is that the mentality that some of the bigger labels had, some of the people that was treating that they want to enslave us and they want to keep us down. And I tried to, even one of my biggest battles with Paul and 3-6 was there's enough to eat at the table. Everybody can eat. Just do right, and we can all eat. And that was my whole thing. That's why I always try to press on artists is that, hey, do what you do, but make sure everybody at the table eats. I think there's a line in I can't remember who the artist is that says, if you don't feed your dogs, they're going to become wolves and eat you. And so that's been my theory. If you don't take care of the people that you surround yourself with and making sure they're good, and then sometimes you have to move away from them, those are the ones that'll come back and get you. And if you look at history now, a lot of the dudes that's been in the game right now, the rap game, even the basketball game, their downfall is dudes that keep around them that don't have their best interests at heart. So, I never went into any situation with any artist or any label trying to profit for myself. It was always about taking care of people the right way. And those guys, a lot of those guys have made it to the other side. It's funny. You guys mentioned Pooh Shiesty. His daddy was one of my criminal clients. And he said to me just about a week ago in a barbershop, I wish you were around, Scott, when Pooh first got in this game, because I could have sat him down with you and you could have explained him, be what you want to be in this game. Do what you want to do, but understand the rules of the game and how to stay how to stay on the right side of the law.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's actually a Project Pat lyric too. He said, I got to dance to the rules of this shit. That's why I keep a revolver. Why the hell? I'm sorry, my fault. I love Project Pat.
No, and it's fun. And it's funny that you mentioned that. Project Pat was a client that I dealt with on the criminal side that I still see today that I have a lot of respect for, because he did what he had to do. And it's amazing now that Project Pat's going back into the jails and helping out. So, it's amazing to me that sometimes people, you don't think they're listening, but they're listening. And that was my whole thing. Let me teach these guys, you got this talent. Let me just help you cultivate your talent into something that's long-term, not just a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, certainly. Now, Mr. Scott, just because I want to be cognizant of time, I do want to focus up on you a little bit. Then I have a couple more follow-up questions about the people you work with.
Go ahead.
Now, Mr. Scott, so you said you were an attorney. When did you actually become an attorney? When did you get your law degree?
Oh, shit. I graduated from Thurgood Marshall School of Law in the late 80s, early 90s.
Ask him where his degree at, Kato.
And where'd you get your degree?
Ask him where the actual piece of paper is at.
Where your actual piece of paper at, sir?
I don't have a clue.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn indeed.
Oh.
Big
Okay.
ass picture frame with no degree, ain't it? Ain't it the same, Kato?
Wait, a picture frame with no degree?
No degree.
Hey,
I mean, but see, that's the difference between me and most people. That degree don't mean a damn to me. It's what I did with it.
facts.
That's hey, that is a fact.
And you did more than
fact.
what people with the degree did. So definitely shout out to you. Now, Papa Scott, me and Josh have talked, and the camera is rolling. But if you would not like to have this, any of this audio or this footage share, please let me know. But you know, I've heard that you've got into some trouble, with the legals.
Sir, it's not losses, it's lessons.
Okay.
Facts.
I spent 56 months in federal prison.
Okay.
During that 56 months, I sent about 22 men home early from unjust sentences. So at the end of the day, I'm not trying to be religious, but God always puts me where I need to be to deal with the thugs I need to deal with to help them get home. So I've been in the rap game, been in the federal jail system. I became a better man after that experience. And that's what I try to tell you. I ain't ashamed of it. I'm very proud of it because it made me a better person.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. Time out, man. Wait, Miss Papa Scott, if I can call you that. Papa Scott,
Yeah.
you freed 22 men from federal prison at that in the span of 56 months?
Yeah, Yazoo City. When I was in
I'm about to
federal
say
prison,
Mississippi.
in Mississippi, I was in Yazoo City, Mississippi, which is a federal low institution. There were some issues and changes going on with the crack law that's incarcerated more blacks than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I took my time. I researched the law. I found some discrepancies in the sentencing rules. And when Congress started passing some sentencing changes, I wrote out, prepared, and created a draft motion and got it to guys and got them to get it filed in the courts. And on the average, most of those guys got their sentences cut in half and went home.
Lord have mercy.
Nah, I mean, we don't try to be, but Crawford means something in the city of Memphis for sure. Like we don't say that out loud, but you know what I'm saying. Just the stuff that we don't talk about each other in this way usually, but for real, the foundation that he laid down for me, and thankfully this time the stuff that I stepped into, like our last name does mean something in the city, and it's stuff like like that.
Mr. Scott, number one, your story is extremely inspiring. Before I start getting into a little bit more of the questions about the clients that you've worked with, what advice do you just got for these young men out here? Not even just in the city of Memphis, but just, these young men out here that's in the street but want to do right, but also, want to go towards, I don't want to call it wrong, but go towards something that could potentially risk their freedom. What just general
Let me
advice?
tell you something. It's real simple.
Okay.
You always got to pay your check.
Yes, sir.
I just say checking in shit is real.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to pay your check because at the end of the day, whatever you do, you got to pay for it. And I try to tell kids and young men and people all the time, if you don't want to pay the bill, don't do it. There's always another option.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know Gotti well. Gotti made a choice that he needed to walk away from because he was going to have to pay a bill sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. And
that would have been a long time in jail. And he made the decision. So, you got to understand that, dude. At some point in time, you got to pay the bill. You got to pay the piper. What you do is going to come out and you got to deal with it.
Yes, sir.
It ain't a real dude that's been a street dude that's been in the game, illegal game, that ain't spent a day in jail. Name me one. So if you don't want to do the time and you don't want to be a snitch, stop doing it.
Because Lord knows that second option is too prevalent nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dealing with a situation in the city right now. People are trying to reach out to me to talk to them. The situation with I ain't gonna call his name because that's not. But there's a young basketball player in the city of Memphis that is ultra talented. But right now he done lost his way, and you don't get no clout from being a thug. You don't get no street clout from carrying a gun. You don't get no street clout from any of that. Because street clout gives you a federal ID number or state ID number.
Excuse me, Papa Scott, please repeat that for the listeners. Please repeat that.
I mean, it don't get you no street cred. It gets you a federal ID number or state ID number. That's what it's going to get you. Simple as that. So if you got talent to play basketball, be a basketball player. If you got talent to be a football player, be a football player. If you can rap, be a rapper. You can rap about what you did in the past, but stop doing it. When you got a chance to get out, get out. It's like I tell people, when I break up with a woman, I'm done. Ain't not going back because you're gonna get caught up some way. So if you get out, get out. And it ain't nothing wrong with getting out of the game.
That's the whole purpose.
Yeah. Don't nobody want to be doing that for the rest of their life. At least they should want to. Gotcha.
Because if you've been in the street game for 20 years, you know what they tell me?
Unsuccessful.
You ain't real good at it. You ain't real good at it. You ain't real good at it. You ain't real good at it.
Definitely.
Because if you're good at it, you're making money. If you're making money, you're a target. Then you're gonna get knocked off.
Definitely. Well,
it's everything. If you're a good rap artist, look at Jay-Z. He been around for a while. Think about all the one-hit wonders. They ain't good at it. So if you ain't good at something, if whatever game if you ain't good at it, get out of it because that ain't for you. Then you're gonna start taking chances that's gonna come back that you're gonna have to pay the bill for.
hey.
Penitentiary chances.
Yeah, facts, man. Well, hey, and real quick, just for the listeners, listen, please make sure that I have, number one, this was unexpected. Josh, thank you so much for calling and reaching out to your father to have him come feature on.
The man knows what he talks about.
We extremely appreciative of Papa Scott. For the listeners, if y'all in the streets, please don't listen to me. I'm not a street dude. I go to Syracuse University. I'm a college student. But if you don't listen to me, please make sure that you listen to Papa Scott.
Facts.
Please. Remember what he said. Being a thug, being a gangster gets you a state or federal ID number. And not a good one. A criminal one.
Yeah, and I hate to say this. Most of y'all, these young cats, ain't built for it. That's why snitching is so
Facts.
popular.
I'm damn sure not. I'll be the first one to say. I say it on camera. I don't give a damn. 6x8, 6x9 with a metal toilet seat and one pillow. I'll be damned.
And Josh has heard this, and I'm not bragging about it, but it's reality, because even when I went to prison, when I was doing the things I was doing to try to help guys get out of prison, I was a threat to the compound. I got locked up in solitary confinement where I was locked in the cage for 23 hours a day, got to go out for 1 hour for 3 months, just because I was an educated black man trying to free other people.
They don't do that. They don't usually do that for non-violent offenders, by the way, y'all. People like that's something. The SHU program is reserved for violent offenders, people, violent acts, life sentences, and stuff like that. So I mean, it's, like you said, the power of the word and the tongue. Like you see how far the system would go to kind of silence that.
Definitely. Now, Papa Scott, do you have about another 5-10 minutes?
Probably about another 5.
Another 5? Okay, I got just a few questions for you. So, Papa Scott, sure. Project Pat, he's my favorite rapper, him and Biggie. But he has been described as the Drake of Memphis by G.O.A.T, prominent Memphis rapper. What is Pat's influence as he was, to me, or to my knowledge, the first commercially successful rapper out of Memphis? And when I say commercially successful, I mean having a gold album / platinum album. What is Project Pat's reception in Memphis? How was he viewed?
Project Pat, from my knowledge, when you go back to the origins of 3 6 Mafia, Prophet Posse, people got to know that who Project Pat really is. He's Juicy's brother.
Yes, older brother.
He was doing a lot of the ghostwriting. He was putting together a lot of the stuff that 3 6 Mafia was putting out. So Pat is the backbone.
I did not.
Pat was a street dude. Pat was a real street dude, but he was a backbone. And when he got out of the street, when you think about songs like Chicken Head and things like that, Pat he understood what the streets wanted and understood the commercial side of it, because like I said, he got out of the game and understood what he had to do. He did his time. Again, another example. He had to lay down for a little while, but he understood what he needed to do, and he understood what the streets wanted and what would sell. So all these artists, when they pay homage, you come back, you see Pat get on some new features and stuff like that, because you realize where he came from.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this, and I want to get your take on this. I've always said that Project Pat is the most is the most unknown influence in modern hip hop. If you go look at J. Cole's No Role Models, he samples Project Pat's Don't Save Her, She Don't Wanna Be Saved. Moneybagg Yo and Meg Thee Stallion with the Ooh Nuttin' record, they sampled Project Pat. Cardi B with Bickin' Head, she sampled Chicken Head by Project Pat. You look at, what's the name of that other song? Guns and Butter by A$AP Rocky, he sampled Project Pat. There's a few more.
Just had a feature with Drake on his last.
Just had a feature with Knife Talk. Project Pat, they featured him.
Pat's a dude like me in the sense. I mean, we've had our good time and our bad time, but we do what we do, and we know we're good at it, but we don't have to run around shouting it out. And maybe Pat don't get a lot of his flowers. And
he damn sure don't.
Because he don't scream his name, and I did this and did that, but he know what he did. Just like me. I know what I did. I ain't gonna ask for nobody to pat me on my back. I know I can listen, I can look, I can walk around, And I know myself, and that's the thing that I think Pat's cool with. He know what he did, and he's moved on to doing something better with his life. He going back and he spent some time in jail. He knows what needs to be done with some of these guys incarcerated, so he get it back in the right way. So when you know your value, when you can look at a man and know your value, I don't need nobody to tell me my value, and that's what I respect about Pat. You know his value.
Definitely. Oh, definitely. Shout out to Project Pat. Love Project Pat. And hey, please, if you can, what is it, Papa Scott? Please tell him that I'm a fan. And last question, Papa Scott, before we let you go. He probably don't even know who I am, but I love his music. I gotta add. I have a bunch of questions, but I gotta ask about 8 Ball and MJG, because they were the second. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were the second rap act out of Memphis to get a record deal behind after Gangsta Pat. 8 Ball and MJG. I always said, to me, two of the greatest rappers of all time from the South. I feel like top 3, top 5. You could definitely make the argument. How come they never ever got the? What do you feel like blocked them from having the commercial success that they should have had? Was it because they were signed? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. It's like a lot of people not understanding the business, and see, that's my thing. You got to understand the business terms. You got to understand the business, and like I try to teach Joshua sometimes, business ain't always easy, and business always don't make good friends. And sometimes you have to cut your ties with friends. Ball and MJG, Primrose, these guys been hustling from Memphis, and they've been rapping forever. Forever. From Valhalla, they went to California. They rap with everybody you could think of. But because their contracts weren't right, they weren't doing the right things, they didn't understand the commercial side of it, they never was able to take it to the next level. I mean, Puffy came in at the end of their run and tried to jump on and take them to a new level, but Puffy was pimping them too. So, that's the foundation, understanding your business. And I give Lord rest his soul, a dude like Dolph. Dolph understood the business. And a lot of these guys didn't understand the business, got themselves in bad situations, and they were able to recover. Because when you give up those masters and you give up those rights early on, and the stuff, the foundational music you made, the
intellectual property.
You don't have it anymore. And that hurts your pockets long term.
Well, Papa Scott, I know you said you only had a couple more minutes, and we had our 5 minutes. Papa Scott, thank you so much for featuring and for coming on this podcast and giving out so much game as far as the business, as far as personal, as far as the streets. Like I said, this was completely unexpected, but I really appreciated you coming on here and just giving not stories, but just giving facts from your life and using it on this platform. I really appreciate it, Papa Scott. Thank you.
No problem. It's my favorite motto. Every loss is its lessons.
So you said every loss has its lessons?
It ain't losses, it's lessons. It ain't losses, it's lessons.
Oh, it's not losses, it's lessons. Okay. Gotcha.
You were saying it before the dudes was rapping in the songs, too. I ain't gonna lie.
How'd you? Well, Papa Scott, we're going to go ahead and let you go, but thank you so much for calling in to I Got More to Say.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good day.
God bless
you, Papa
Scott.
Bye-bye.
So, Josh, yeah. So, like I said, shout out to Papa Scott for coming through and blessing us with all that game and all that knowledge. Definitely a very inspiring story. So, shout out to you, Papa Scott. Josh, I want to take it back. Like I said, I know you were born in 2000, for sure. And I was born in 99, so we probably missed a lot of this era to really be able to talk about it. But I always credit, Memphis from 95 till about 99 as really having truly a unique run, because the underground scene in Memphis had so much talent that really carried over into today. So as I said before, the Al Capones, the Gangsta Pats, the 8 Balls, the MJGs, the DJ Zerk, DJ Squeaky, Tommy Wright the Third, 3-6 with Lord Infamous, Coopsta. There's been countless. Kingpin, Skinny Pimp, one of my favorites. Oh my God, I love what is it? What's the name of that album? What's the name of Skinny Pimp first album? Hold on, I'm sorry, I gotta look this up, y'all, because Skinny Pimp see this, he might be mad at me. Come on, bro, how you rocking?
But just the ethos that you're talking about.
King of the Players Ball.
Like the street culture in Memphis and like the underground culture. Like if you talk about underground music, you definitely think of like up north of New York, Philly, just like Freeway and God's Freeway, stuff like that. Just that grittiness, but like it's a little bit of a different take, like the 808s, the booming sound, like
because the sound has
the Maybach kind of sounding beats, stuff like that. Yeah. But it is still very like the ethos again. I talk about like Jadakiss' daddy being from Memphis. Like it's a similarity, even though geographically it's very far. But like rap is rap, bars is bars, and grit is grit. Regardless of where you at.
Definitely, because the way I look at it, like even in like that mid to late '90s era, like I look at Skinny Pimp with his take on the triplet flow. I look at, because the triplet flow especially, because I always say that as far as Memphis rap, there's about 2 or 3 defining things. Number one is definitely the production. Booming 808s, teetering hi-hats, devilish laughter, dark, horrific sound. Definitely the production.
Devilish laughter, that's funny.
Nah, it is. Like, if you listen to, Coops the song Robbers,
They were sounding like horror films for sure.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know DJ Paul has said, like, he said, man, I had like a serial killer book and I had like a horror movies that I used to love watching.
Paul was on some
crazy shit.
He's very deep into like the darkness.
Yeah, exactly. And really all the 3-6. Because, I mean, so real quick, getting back. So with like I said, the production, the second thing is the triplet flow. Even the triplet flow is a very evil sounding flow.
So let me be transparent, because I think, I've been in the studio a lot, but like you talking about so what's like the flow? You say triplet, like what is the triplet flow for me?
Okay, got you. So triplet flow, essentially the textbook definition is 3 beats over. So 3 notes over 1 beat. Okay. So essentially, like I can't really do it because I don't.
So who's the defining artist of the triplet flow?
So, like, for example, I do it like a triplet flow beat. So as far as
constant,
as far as you say who's the defining artist, Lord Infamous, because Lord Infamous was doing the triplet flow back when it was just him and DJ Paul, and they was releasing tapes as high schoolers, and Lord Infamous he's not the first person to do it. The triplet flow actually was played with a little bit in New York, but as far as the person who mastered and crafted the sound and the person who really pioneered the flow, definitely Lord Infamous.
Okay.
So that's a triplet flow. So I'm trying to, for example, Offset.
I was about to say, it sounded very giving Migos.
Yes,
sure.
and we're gonna get to that.
Migos.
But yeah, like Offset,
Atlanta, really.
Yeah, Offset and Takeoff. That's where they got the flow from.
Facts.
Yeah, but that's a Memphis flow.
Facts.
Because Lord was doing it, and then Al Capone, MC Mac, Sandman. I called him Sandman. His name might actually be Scanman. Sorry, Scanman. The one from Memphis, the rapper, bro. Rock with you the long way. Sorry, I don't exactly know what your name is.
Not the wrong way.
Yeah, but all of them was doing that flow. So like I said, triplets, production, and then as far as Memphis, as I said, just really like the flashiness of just how you guys put it out there. But anyways, moving on to the point, why do you feel like the sound has carried over from that time till now?
Kind of like what I said in my last answer, man. Like, to real, like somebody like you, somebody hopefully like me, somebody like my dad, like my dad is close to 50, but like we have very similar music tastes. Like, the only really thing the difference between my dad and me, he's big on Jeezy because he was in Atlanta when BMF and all those pop, and I do not like Jeezy. Like I do yeah, boy, I'm not trying to listen to all that. Like I'm not trying to listen to all that. But like me and my dad have he listens to Bad, he listens to like Duff, he listens to Shiesty, like he listens to the young guys. Okay. So like it is like we talk about I guess music. Authentic music, fans of music, let me get my words out. Yeah. Like, it doesn't change. Like, you see what I'm saying? Quality is quality. And you look at, like you said, the triplet flow and even like a lot of the production, you got guys like Take Keith and Hit Kid. Like,
still keeping it alive.
When you got all components, you got all components of the music making process can be done in-house at a high level in Memphis. You got high level beat makers, you got high level producers, you got high level rappers. Yeah. You got and you know what I'm saying, for right or wrong, you got high level marketers. You talking about a guy like G.O.A.T and CMG. Yeah. So all parts of the music making process can be done at a high level in Memphis. Yeah. You can't say that for about 2-3 other cities in the world.
That's a great point because I just look at it like, in Memphis, there's always been hustlers. Like, I've done a lot of studying. Sorry, I don't mean to take the conversation over, but I gotta educate because for people listen to trap nowadays and they credit it with Atlanta, and rightfully so, and they credit it with Metro and some of the Sunny Digital and Drummer Boy and a lot of these other people.
But Drummer Boy, where you from? From Memphis.
He's from Memphis.
So it's
shout
like
out to Drummer Boy. Yeah, but
it's crazy that you not to cut you out, but like you talk about. Like we discussed earlier, like the kinship that I feel like that's between Memphis and Atlanta, like that has been a thing, now because Atlanta is definitely popping. It's arguably the most popping city that's not Memphis. Probably more popping than Memphis. I had to be realistic, but it's a it's not a thing to where it's any animosities. Like it's a free flowing sharing of ideas. Like Gucci comes down to the city and like nobody's ever stopped Gucci, and nobody's mad because he's taking people and changing their lives.
Yeah, and Gucci got a lot of love for Memphis. Like
exactly,
I read Gucci Mane's autobiography.
Golly.
Yeah, I read Gucci
No, my
Mane's.
bad. I'm something in my eye.
Nah, you all good, player. I read Gucci Mane's autobiography, and he said, like, you know, when he was coming up, he was listening to the Skinny Pimps, to the Gangsta Pats, to the Tommy Rice IIIs, to the 8 Balls and MJGs. He was like, you know, I just always liked the most gutter music because that's the life I was living at the time, and Memphis just had that sound that I love. So I feel like, you know, not only, even if you want to be mad at Gucci, you can't be, because it's like, you know what, Gucci really got respect for what's going on in Memphis.
And I'll say that because you talk about, not talk about, but recently the situation with Alex Scar has kind of been I guess the most prevailing thing in people, how feel like Gucci takes advantage or whatever, like take the chains back, like, you know. And even when Alex's dad went on Wax or Instagram, whatever, made his thoughts known, like, you know, nobody, from my recollection, nobody in Memphis has a bad word to say about Gucci, because like he comes to the city, he obviously thinks that we're talented, you feel what I'm saying? Even recently, he has got some guys out of Arkansas, you feel what I'm saying, fizzling them, like, he takes the time to do it in the right way.
Big hard, too.
If they weren't, if Gucci was coming down and, like my daddy said, he was having bad business, he was doing things the wrong way, like, Memphis is a city that will not allow you to come into our gates. You feel what I'm saying?
And Gucci even said, even said it. Gucci was like, you know what? He was like, Gucci, how are you able? Because, you know, I personally think that Gucci is maybe the greatest A&R ear in all of rap. And that's a topic for another day. But
Him or Diddy?
Diddy up there too. I might have to give it to Gucci. But like I said, matter of fact, it might be a topic for today. But like I said, I want to keep it focused on Memphis. So, but just to hit on what Gucci said, Gucci was like, you know what? A big reason is because I give a lot of these young dudes chances. I go and I deal with the street dudes. I deal with the gangsters. And he was like, you know, he said, I wouldn't sign no artist to no bad deal because I like to harbor relationships. You know, and Gucci got a label right now. I mean, like I said, I hate that Pooh's locked up. I hate, you know, that I say Pooh and Foo. I hate that Pooh Shicey's locked up. I hate that Fugiano was locked up. I hate that, you know, Big Scar passed away, because I was a huge fan of Scar. I'm really a fan of all of them. But, you know, even then, like, Gucci, his label is still coming up. I mean, he just got Kato 2 times out of Memphis, and I rock with him.
He signed last year, Big Walk Dog. He'll do that.
Walk from Mississippi, right?
Yeah, like, but it's I mean, right for wrongfully, everybody that little Arkansas, like Fizzling them boys, they like Jonesboro, West Memphis, Arkansas, they gonna claim the city. You know what I'm saying? Walk Dog.
And I like Big Walk Dog.
Like
too.
hard for sure. Like
he go crazy. That's Circle K.
That's just
Whole Lot of Ice with Gucci. No, Whole Lot of Ice with Baby and Pooh.
Facts.
And then he got another song with Gucci, Poppin'. Yeah.
So Gucci like come down to he comes down, he frequents our region, our area, and really, like you said, gives people authentic chances. And, you know, honestly, like, against somebody being from the city and knowing some of these guys personally, like, you know, I can objectively say, like, it's like, it ain't, he continues to do it, if not that it doesn't have the best results. Like I said, the 3 artists, his 3 best artists that we just named are not in the position to be making no music no time soon. And he continues to come down to our city, like, give dudes chances, like you said, with Fizzle, with Walk, like, and he does it in the right way.
Man, he going to places that not a lot of labels are looking for people.
I mean, that's Gucci though. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even I'm talking to
he just signed some dudes out of Alabama.
Like, he's not, like you said, he's not afraid to really get in the nitty gritty and go there. And that's like, and like, knowing my
Is he authentic?
He was. There's a reason why him and Tip really the only ones from the old BMF guard in Atlanta really holding down Atlanta in the A. Because like when you said, the authenticity that really, like, Gucci out here got his stripes.
Definitely
People respect Gucci for what he do. Like, so when he's, you know, he's not a you know, he's not a Bob Ike. He's not a guy like Jimmy Iovine to where it looks weird if he's down in South Memphis or something like that. Like, he's a real Trish baby, and I think that people respect that. And I think that they respect it to where, like, he's not trying to Mace or Diddy these people. He's in it for the both of us. If I'm shining, you shining. If you shining, you put me on. So it's in my best interest to do right by you. And that's, you probably know more than me, that's a very fleeting thing in this business.
Facts, yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, even when Papa Scott earlier, when he was like, hey, you know, if you don't feed and take care of your dogs, you know what I'm saying, and they when they start starving, they're gonna turn into wolves and they'll eat you.
So you know what I'm saying? We are producers of good music. We're not necessarily in a box, and I think that, you know, that resonates throughout the city. That you know what I'm saying, not everybody's got the ear of Gucci, but everybody is attuned to, like, what sounds good sonically, what sounds good, you know, in the club. Even if we're not all A&R producers, and I think that you see that. You said Gucci, guys come to Memphis to see if their artist is hot. Guys play their songs in the club in Memphis to see if it's gonna pop. Because, like I said, if you can win over our city, if our city can understand the significance and what you're doing with your music, like, it means a lot everywhere else.
Definitely, and thank you for that piece, Josh. Because, you know, I look at a lot of Memphis rap, but you're right, just musically, Memphis is definitely there. But to the listeners, as I was saying, go look up some of these names that I'm talking about. All you guys who think, listen to a lot of the cloud rap and a lot of the trill wave and a lot of the SoundCloud rap, a lot of that is deeply rooted in Memphis. A lot of you young artists think that y'all doing now was done before. Go get some inspiration from them. A lot of you gangster rappers. 90s Memphis, straight gangster. Go listen to the Kingpin Skinny Pimps. Go listen to, I'm going to say the names again. I'm going to make sure they get their flowers. Make sure you go listen to the Gangsta Pats. Go listen to the 8 Balls and the MJGs. Go listen to the Al Capones. Go listen to the Lil Whites. Go listen to the LaChats. I mean, you go listen to the Coopsters and go listen to the Lord Infamouses. Because a lot of the things this is my problem with the new era. Oh yeah, we ain't never heard nothing like this before, so we invented it. Nah, go do your research. As I said before, YouTube is the closest thing to a time machine that we will have. So go educate yourselves. But definitely shout out to all the Memphis OGs, because that, like I said, I don't know if there's a more influential era in hip hop. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't know if there's a more, you could definitely go to 80s boom bap, but that 90s era of Memphis, one of the most influential eras of all time. And I'm just so appreciative of the fact that I took the time and I took did the research in order to be able to speak about these things intelligently. But Josh, getting off of, and actually, I'm going to go a step further. I think 3 6 Mafia is the most influential rap group of all time over Wu-Tang. Now, New Yorkers, don't kill me.
They had an Oscar for Will Smith. Come on now.
Say that again, please.
3 6 Mafia rappers had an Oscar before Will Smith.
And these is dudes from Memphis.
You know what I'm saying?
Not rappers and not a rapper / actor / sitcom actor from Philly, where there was a little bit more of an established music presence than there was in Memphis as far as from a commercial standpoint. But this is the thing with 3 6. Juicy J and DJ Paul perfected the sound of the production. Lord Infamous is the pioneer of the triplet flow. Coops the Nicka is a pioneer of the flow as well, but as far as like rappers being a little bit more melodic with their rhyme scheme, I definitely credit Coopster with that.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
And then what is it, Gangsta Boo? As far as being one of the
women
first
talking shit on the track.
Women on that gangsta shit. Her, Lady of Rage, LaChat. They said, time out. I would be damned if I do this show without mentioning one of my favorite female rappers, Princess Loco. You don't know who Princess Loco is? Go look up a song called Still Pimpin' by Tommy Wright III. Yeah, go look that up.
This man knows his stuff.
Yes, go listen to Princess Loco and hear the way she finessed that motherfucker. She had the beat going over the cowbell. Yeah, go look up Princess Loco, a true bar spitter. If I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere that she had passed away, so rest in peace to Princess Loco. But go look her up. Yeah, or go listen to Gangsta Forever by Tommy Wright III and go listen to LaChat. A hoe I will never be. That shit just don't faze me. The L to the A to the C to the H to the A motherfucking T. Yeah, go listen to LaChat. Definitely.
Man, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, most certainly. You got to. And that's the problem I got with a lot of people my age and younger and even older. Give these Memphis dudes their credit. It ain't no reason why you don't know.
I mean, Papa Scott said something that, I think does kind of reverberate around the city because it's so easy to look at other places and see our influence. Like, we don't go, it is something to be said for not having to puff your chest out and just demand your respect at every turn. You feel
definitely.
What I'm saying?
Right.
We definitely, again, we go down to Atlanta and Memphis dudes be at home in Atlanta. And like I said, Atlanta is like a bigger version of Memphis. You got 6-7 million people. That's probably the most populous black city in the country. And Memphis dudes be at home because Atlanta people understand it's a kinship, it's a culture. Even on the music tip, a lot of the foundational stuff was laid in Memphis. So it's when you have a city like Atlanta that so easily accessible and welcoming to people like Memphians, and anywhere else, you can definitely people's style getting jacked all day every day, and we can tell you say that sound like a Hit Kid beat, that sound like a Take Keith beat, that sound like something that Pooh would say, that sound like something 30 would say, everybody got eyes and ears. So I think that the A is so open, accepting for Memphis, with it being so high in the tier of rap cities and rap importance, right, and music importance right now. That does a lot for I guess Memphians not having to feel like we gotta stick our chest out and whatnot, and be again there's a lot of faking and flaws going on, and we not really phased. Like you said, we a city of leaders. We're not really phased by dudes copying our style. It's a thing to where we see y'all over there. And belong to the homies that rock with us, you feel what I'm saying, in the city. And then, like I said, Atlanta and the kinship, the people in the Mid-South, really. As long as we good in our little area, if our artist could go tour, Atlanta could go tour, Jacksonville can go tour, Mississippi, a Memphis artist can eat off of that. Can make 6 figures just staying in Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia,
In Texas.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
and that's the unique thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's the unique thing about the South. If you hot in the South, if you hot in the South, you can pretty much eat for the rest of your life.
Don't even
need to worry
Don't
about
even gotta go on a
LA
plane ride
and New York.
and can make money for the rest of your life and stay in any place that you can go buy car.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because I try to tell people, like, in the South, you got to look. New York is New York, and it got 12 million people. LA is LA, and it got, 12.
9 million.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Millions of people. But if you get, number one, this is the thing, and I've talked to Jay-Z's brother. Not gonna put his name out there, but I've talked to the brother of Jay-Z. And one thing he said that Jay-Z understood that a lot of other artists didn't understand at the time, because I credit Jay-Z with helping put a lot of Southern artists on, is that Jay-Z understood that. He said, people would always ask, why are you featuring on all these country ass niggas albums? Why are you featuring all these songs? You know what he said? Jay-Z said, yo, them people down south buy records. These niggas up in New York is bootlegging my shit.
Hey,
You know
because
what
Jay do not like the bootlegs.
Yeah, you see
he do
what I'm
not be
saying?
going for that.
Yeah, he said these people down south buy records. So he was like, I respect these artists. I like these artists. I'm finna work with them. Because if I can, get on they songs and I can motherfucking get myself heard by a lot of them who actually buying albums, that'll make me do that. And the last time I checked, there ain't many more rappers that have sold more than Jay-Z.
Bro, you making me. I'm a content creator, but you making me go into fan mode. You making me really getting the podcast out of me, because like that's a big thing. Obviously, like you said, Jay-Z and his South, like, because even when you said like put on, I did like wince up a little bit, but like I think I know the content you're saying.
I'm
it's
sorry.
not like a put on, like it's like
No, not at all. And excuse me, thank you for mentioning that, Josh. Let me clarify.
That's not what you meant.
Not at all. Like when Jay-Z did Big Pimpin' with UGK was already diamond in the South.
Exactly. Didn't need no whole verse.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they really didn't. Let me not say they didn't. It worked out. They definitely got a financial and
boost for sure.
Yeah, they got a financial and a commercial and
but I would say Hov on the other side was more accepted in the South. Like it was a flip flop too.
Exactly.
So like how UGK, like you said, was introduced them to a northern audience.
Yeah,
I think people
introduced Jay-Z to the South.
And I think that was definitely, especially back in the day, maybe a little less now, but especially back in the day, like that was like a thing to where North and South really didn't mix. Yeah. And I think you talk about the Big Pimpin' record. Yeah. That was like, at least to my recollection, that was the first time two acts of that magnitude collaborated and did something like that.
Yeah, and it was major. But that's my thing.
And a success. It didn't flop.
So real quick, just to make sure that I correct that, or not correct it, but make sure I clarify. Jay-Z didn't put them on, but Jay-Z helped get them out to a more widespread audience, and in turn, they helped put Jay-Z on in the South.
See, that's why I was going to ramble, Kato. Mm-hmm. So you talk about, like you said, obviously you a guy from up here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was born in Atlanta, but I'm pretty much an upstate New York dude. I'm not from New York City. I pretty much lived in Rochester and Buffalo a lot of my life, so I'm not no New York City dude.
So Hov is the GOAT for you?
No.
It's not. Who's your GOAT?
When you say GOAT, what are we talking about? Because if we're talking about
best rapper of all time, I would say.
Based purely off of skill?
Yeah. Who you got?
Purely off of skill?
Yeah, who you got?
Biggie.
Okay. Well, that's not but another New Yorker.
Yeah.
I would say Wayne. Wayne is the best
Wayne
MC
is up there for me.
to touch the mic.
Yeah.
So, like, when you talk...
I'm not mad at that. And I would actually say from a lyrical... Like, this is my thing with Jay-Z. I think as far as a hip-hop force in hip-hop, a hip-hop person...
Impact. For sure.
I think...
No murder has had a bigger impact than him.
I think when we talk about the entire rap culture...
Money.
Jay is number one.
Undisputably, too, probably.
Facts. When we talk about the entire rap culture. When we talk about skill and ability...
Bars. Put that 16
bars and shit like that... I think that there are 5 rappers better than Jay-Z, 10 maybe even. No disrespect to Hov. But I would take, as far as from a stylistic standpoint, a lyrical standpoint, I'd take Wayne over Jay. I'd take Ghostface Killah over Jay. I'd take Rakim over Jay. I'd take Nas over Jay. I'd take Project Pat over Jay. Yes, I would take Project Pat over Jay-Z from a lyrical standpoint.
New Yorkers saying that. That's crazy to me.
Yes, no disrespect.
How you feel Brooklyn in the bag? How you feel about this? She's crying on the inside.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because no disrespect to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a fire-ass artist. When he said, I forgot the line, but on Brooklyn We Go Hard, where he had the triple entendre, where he said, I jack, I rob, I sin, I'm Jackie Robinson. Jay-Z got bars. Not taking nothing away from him. But as far as people who are more skilled, as far as on the... I mean, I'm going to say this, and y'all might not like this. I think Eminem, from a lyrical standpoint, could go
1 month after February.
Yes, respectfully. Go listen to Renegade off of the first Blueprint. To me, Jay-Z's best album. Listen to how Eminem got on that. So anyways, I think that...
I'm more rap guy.
Yeah.
Rap guy.
Yo, no, you tripping on that one. M lost me on that one, but shout out to M. Another one, I think that there are several rappers to me that lyrically are better than Jay. I think Jay is definitely phenomenal lyrically. Okay. And I ain't gonna say several, but there are quite a few. And this is just my opinion. You don't have to like it. Okay. But I personally feel like, like I said, I would take Project Pat from a stylistic standpoint.
Okay.
I would take Pat. But as far as what you say, who I feel like is the greatest from a standpoint of purely skill and lyricism, I'm gonna take Big.
So let me because you say Biggie, so I say Wayne because
Wayne is another one.
Like the Carters, the
I would take Wayne over
series, Hov. You know what I'm saying? So like when you compare your GOAT and my GOAT, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, and I think it's not bad, do you feel like where you lived that influence who you think is the best rapper of all time?
No, because I'm really my three favorite rappers.
See, I would say for me, I definitely because my three. I can say the N word, but we're not jacking Jay-Z down south. Like I was gonna keep it. Like I like Nas. Really, I'm a big Nas guy.
I like Nas too.
Like,
Nas is one of my favorites.
Hov is more my dad. Like my dad would probably say Jay-Z is the GOAT because like he said the impact. And
but you also got to understand too. Your dad was a young nigga getting money.
Nah, that's a fact.
Jay
I'm trying to be a young nigga getting money too.
Yeah, facts. Now, you know what I'm saying? Your dad, excuse me, time out. I said was. Your dad still is a young nigga getting money.
He ain't no young nigga.
Yeah.
He a nigga
No. He below 65. Your dad young. He middle aged. Right. Shout out to Papa Scott. Yo, what's going on, everybody? As y'all know, this is I Got More to Say, and this is our beloved segment, Put On or Put Out. Put Out, excuse me. So essentially with this segment, I go ahead and I show our guests, depending on where they from, I show them artists and their outfits based upon where they from. And we let the guests determine whether the artist put the fit on, meaning that they executed the fit perfectly.
Put that shit on.
Yeah, they put that shit on. Or do they need to be put the fuck out because the fit is bad? So
I like this. I like this concept. He like AB, put that, yeah.
Shout out to AB.
Okay.
So anyways, first one, as you know, we have our guest today, Josh, as y'all got introduced to before. Josh is from Memphis. Thanks. Memphis is a city that's known for fashion in great ways and in bad. So we're going to go ahead and start. So I'm going to show the camera first. We're going to be paying attention to the guy in the middle. That's DJ Paul of the legendary 3-6 Mafia.
We talked about Paul, what he be doing. Bro.
Yeah, this is DJ Paul, the legendary 3-6 Mafia. This was at the Versus battle against Bone Thugs and Harmony. Juicy J to his left. Crunchy Black to his right. Josh, DJ Paul is dressed in, I think, a white mink coat. I think he got on some red bottoms with the shiny spikes on them. I don't necessarily know all the brands, bro, but how are we feeling about Paul? Did he put that shit on, or do he need to be put the fuck out?
Get Crunchy Black ass out the picture first.
What's wrong with Crunch? No, don't be disrespectful.
And he be on Vlad, too. You know how I feel about Vlad.
Okay. Right.
First of all,
well, Crunch is a legend. Let's not do that.
Juicy
Crunch is a
over here
legend.
looking like a soccer mom at a ball with this red ass shit on and this man purse. But I got a man purse too, so I can't be that
Facts,
mad.
I got one too.
I
put my shit on.
I think Paul put that shit on, bro. Like you said, the white mink, the chain, the Gucci scarf, the glittery shoes. I'm not a big jeans guy, you know what I'm saying? Okay. But you know, it's worse fits. It's worse fits, and you know what I'm saying, you popping your shit. You feel what I'm saying? The chain, mink. You feel what I'm saying? Frank Lucas boys. So in the Gucci scarf, and I'm saying Paul is bald. So you got to take that into consideration, just because it's like it's only so much a ball do to put that shit on. So
that's a fact. I'm headed there soon, but thank you.
He like I'm gonna say Paul put that shit on.
Paul put that shit on. I bet. So the Memphis legend put that shit on. All right, we gonna move on. Next up, I believe this is MC Mac. Yes, it is. MC Mac wearing a fine leather coat, jewelry popping, haircut good, beard lined up, looked like he got on some designer shades. Josh, MC Mac. The MC Mac put that shit on.
This nigga look like Slick Rick in this house.
Nah, don't be laughing. But Slick Rick, one of the flyest of all time. Especially with them colored Clarks and them eye patches. What does MC Mac get?
Man, oh God. This is some pimp shit for sure. This is some shit that somebody that women report to get funds back to. This is some these guys. We talked about like the different stuff and whatnot, the culture. But he got to get the fuck out. Like I'm not. It ain't maybe Papa Scott rock with this, but I can't rock with this. Like
you can't rock with that right there, bro.
That's a big ass chain. I know. Like, do you see how thick this chain is, Monty? Like that's like 5. But that's a big ass chain. What are you talking? Oh, and it don't get that cold in Memphis neither, so he don't need that shit. So yeah, get out.
Put out?
Get out, DJ man, get out.
All right, bro. MC Mac, we rock with you, bro. But Josh says that you got to get put out. Personally, I like your outfit. All right, next. This photo came out a little bit kind of bad, but I hope the camera can get it in focus. We got Tommy Wright III in the matching headscarf with the matching shirt, holding up the funds. Josh, did Tommy Wright III put it on, or do he need to be put the fuck
this
out?
This is like BET classic wear, bro. Like the matching rag with the pajama set, bro. You know what I'm saying? He a real Memphis boy. He gonna have that cash on him. So I'm saying, like, very, you know what I'm saying? The jeans, again, not a jean guy, but just the swag, the way he having his way, you feel what I'm saying? The money, the little 5 little 20s he got,
He said 5 little 20s.
Come on, bro. That's number 5, 6 little 20s, bro. I'm gonna give TW3. I'm gonna say he's putting it on, bro. I'm gonna say he's putting it on.
Tommy Wright III, you put it on, player. Shout out to Tommy Wright. Tommy Wright put it on.
He put it on because he put it on for the city, bro.
Got you. Now we got New Memphis in the building now.
Oh God.
We got Snoop Bands.
Oh God.
I don't know. Look like some kind of designer. What is it? Sweatsuit or like sweatshirt and short set. Then he got the matching J's on with the chains.
Snoop be putting it on though, cause PRE they be having money. The 14s, you feel what I'm saying? It is a blurry ass picture.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you good. The 14s, like you said, the hoodie with the orange. You feel what I'm saying? And come on, he got like a 250K around his neck. Mm-hmm. So I'm a bright colored guy. This is orange. I'm rocking with it. Even we ain't gonna speak on what he got in this cup, but I'm sure it's something illegal. The 14s with the chains, Snoop got it on, bro.
Snoop got it on?
Snoop got it on, bro.
I bet now this next one, you know what I'm saying, it's probably my favorite one.
Oh God! And you can dress too. Now I feel pressure to say you put it on.
No. It's all good, bro. This is all your opinion. I appreciate this. And mind you, I am styled by Imani Diamond Racine. She will be featured in the end credits, so make sure that y'all go tap in with her. Every single thing I'm wearing, besides my drawers, my socks, and my jewelry, was picked by her. Anyways, next up, we got my dog Black Boy JB. Black Boy JB. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna tell Josh what he wearing. I'm just gonna let the camera
look
see
at Money's face, boy.
Yeah, and then
What?
I just want to make sure that y'all, as y'all see the SpongeBob on the shirt, these were the boots that he was wearing. I just want to make sure that y'all see that.
Man, give me the goddamn paper.
So Josh, how we feel about Black Boy JB?
Nah, this not even Crip Blue. Just put that over there.
Well, Josh, you got to tell us why you're not rocking with it.
This shit is ugly, Kato. That's why I'm not rocking with this shit. This shit is ugly. This nigga got SpongeBob patches on his jeans. There's not even a correct affiliation for him, man, with this blue. That's way too bright blue. This nigga did not go to UNC or DePaul. Nah, we ain't got that much time on the camera. I ain't gonna waste my time with that bullshit.
Okay.
He put that shit on.
All right, so he put out.
Put that shit.
He got to get put the fuck out.
Put that shit in the garbage can, bro.
Okay, bet. All right, next up, we got another Memphis royalty in the building. Juicy J, Louis Vuitton shirt, gold chains, got the snapback on, what it look like to be some loafers.
Okay, a little simplistic. Man, Juicy with these big ass chains on, man, chain at his navel, cuz like this is not.
How we feel about that fit? Did he put it on or do he need to be put the fuck out?
Like, I mean, this is a original legend in my city, so it really hurts my heart. But like, he over here dressed like Brett Favre and shit. Like I'm not.
Brett Favre.
Like this is an American Navy ass shirt. You know what I'm saying? These Wrangler ass jeans. And these loafers probably cost a lot of money. And they probably got LV, but this shit like, no, that shit look like Liberian loafers. Sorry, Juicy. Don't beat me up. Don't tell Papa Scott to get on me. Oh, it's a Louis shirt. It don't, man, it's still ugly. The Louis shirt, that shit still look like old American Eagle. He did not put that shit on. Put that shit in the block pile.
Damn. All right, next up, Free the Shiesty Man. But we got Pooh Shiesty with the Palm Angels floral tracksuit with the chains.
Lontrell. Shout out
Lontrell Williams, free the Shiesty, free the big brr.
The biggest, the richest shooter.
Oh yeah, Pooh Shiesty, did he?
There's just so much nostalgia when I can't even speak objectively about this. You feel what I'm saying?
Pooh Shiesty, did he put it on, bro, or did he need to be
Palm
put out?
Angel, Master Yeezy boots to say I'm getting off. Don't do that shit in broad day. Better not speak of what you saw the effing in. Bullets hawker down. Yeah, we gonna get them gone.
Okay.
Free the biggest shooter, bro. You know Pooh gonna put that shit on.
Pooh gonna put that shit on, man. What song was that for the people who want to know?
Oh God, I just. Man, it's just so like Pooh is so embedded in my brain. The bars, like, I'm gonna hit y'all in the link. I'm gonna link after this, but you feel what I'm saying?
Bet.
Palm, come on now. He living what he rapping. He living what he rapping. These young niggas don't.
Next up, we got pretty much the inventor of the Memphis sound, DJ Spanish Fly, accompanied by a couple lovely young ladies.
These niggas finna be looking like Rick Ross back in the day. I just know it. These niggas finna be.
DJ Spanish Fly, Josh. How we feel about
Bruh,
DJ Spanish
see,
Fly?
I can't.
He put that shit on. Or did he need to
Bruh,
be
he
put the
put
fuck
that
out?
shit on for his era, cause like, it's the thing. Like, we talk about a very nuanced discussion. When I make fun of this man in his outfit, like saying back in the day, he was putting that shit on back in the day.
putting that
Saying
shit on?
somebody that likes to be a cultural observer and recognize time, passage, and eras. Different, like, you know what I'm saying, for his time, he would have put that shit on with this Hawaiian ass shirt. But you feel what I'm saying? I can't in my heart say that he put that shit on when his socks are touching his calves. So I'm gonna just put this one over here. You put that shit on when you was popping.
Bet. All right, next up. Sorry, I meant to edit this one. But we got Memphis is, oh, well, excuse me, he's technically from Columbia, Tennessee. But we're going to say he's from Memphis in this one.
We're gonna throw him in there.
We're going to throw him in there. Band play. Let the band play. I think he got on the
He a big boy,
off-white dunk.
too. He a big boy, too.
Definitely. Shout out to band play. Off-white dunks with the matching. I think that's the Miami Marlins hat or Florida Marlins hat. I don't know what kind of jacket he got on.
Probably a tight one.
Yeah, you a clown.
You know what's
But the
crazy about band
put-
play? He actually, I was actually a football player in my past life.
Facts.
And he actually is now working with the trainer that trained me during high school and college.
Oh, he
he's
finna
trying
be
to-
right.
No, he is. This is band play.
Yeah.
He got that shit on. He got that shit on.
got that shit on?
The dunks hard. I ain't got them, so I'm gonna say they hard because I can't afford them. The jeans, usually not a big fan of jeans, but I like how they usually big guys. Jeans do look well on us. Like I like the color of the jacket. Like I said, with the hat, like the green with the hat and the dunks and the like a khaki jacket or something like
Yeah,
that.
some kind of khaki jacket.
Nah, band play had that shit on.
Band
Bro.
play had that shit on? Oh, that's the wrong.
I'm
album.
tripping, yeah.
Don't do band like that. All right, cool.
Not at all.
I bet. Next, you know what I'm saying? We got the legend, Young Dolph, Dolce & Gabbana hat, Dolce & Gabbana shirt with the one big Cuban link on.
Let's put that risen.
But he also
Whoa! My bad. That's what I get for jumping in this nigga segment. My bad. Let me just okay. What? I jumped.
So hold on, let's make sure we show the camera.
What is
and he
that?
got the Dolce & Gabbana bucket hat with the see-through visor. Body, the camera getting this? Back. Josh, it's Dolph. Hey. How we feeling, Josh?
So you see Hit Kid and Band Play comments on his Instagram post right here? You feel what I'm saying? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, bro.
Woo!
Because
See
when
through
I
visor is crazy. See through visor is crazy.
see-through bucket hat.
I'm about to say see through visor on the bucket hat is crazy.
He put it on, bro, or did he need to be put out? It's okay, Josh.
Rest in peace, Dolph. Come on, bro.
Ew.
You know you was bullshitting on that one. You was bullshitting.
I bet. Up next. Oh, hold on. I ain't gonna do that one. Actually, up next we got, I don't know if the camera gonna be able to see this, but we got Juicy J on the set of the By Mistake music video, The Guy in the Pink. Also accompanied by Dolphin Project Pat.
Damn, that's a legendary ass picture. I just want to see that hoe with this one.
Definitely. He got on the off pink hoodie with the bright pink scarf and the bright pink pants and the white sneakers. I don't know nothing about none of the brands. Josh, Juicy J, put on or put the fuck out?
I fuck with that. I fuck with that. Juicy look like a Memphis ass camera on all that goddamn pink on. You feel what I'm saying?
Memphis ass camera.
Dolph got the earrings with the what am I trying to say? The watches. You feel what I'm saying? The ice. I don't know. You said that's Pat. He looking a little chunky right there, but you feel what I'm saying? We ain't gonna judge. He got the it's some sort of pattern on his. What's the jump he had on?
Versace.
Yeah,
He got on Versace. I think he got on Louboutins with
He
a
matching the Versace
jacket.
with the glasses. I can't. They got that shit on. They got that shit.
Yeah, that's wrong pile, bro.
Oh my bad,
Okay,
I'm bullshit.
Bet. All right, so they got that shit on.
Bullshit, dog. Be bullshit.
All good, all good. All right, next up we got Gangsta Pat, and I believe what is a Versace shirt with the Versace shades. It looks like to be a top hat, and he got on some jewelry. Monty, you paying attention? The camera got this? Bet. So this is Gangsta Pat. Josh, do Gangsta Pat, did he put that shit on, or do he need to be put the hell
Oh,
out?
he got this shit on.
He got that shit on?
The hoops. There's some big ass hoops. I can't lie. But the Versace, you know what I'm saying? Just this shit like Biggie. This shit look like Biggie. Like this shit really do look like Biggie.
That's
like,
Biggie?
Versace, the top hat, the glasses. Like this is like 80s, late 80s, early 90s, gangster pimping. This is the best for you to show me. He definitely got that shit on.
Gangsta Pimper? Okay, cool. All right, next up, we gonna take it. Matter of fact, we gonna take it back to Dolph.
Oh God.
Dolph. Gucci, what is it? Track jacket with the shorts, the matching Gucci socks with the mocha threes.
Ooh, let me
Do
see.
Dolph got that shit on, or do
This
he
is
need
what
to
I thought-
put on or put out?
This is what I thought you were gonna have the first time, bro. I ain't gonna lie, Dolph made Dolce & Gabbana a lot of money. Like,
Well, that's
a lot
Gucci.
Okay, but even like D&G, like people are still rocking. yeah, this bullshit is D&G. This bullshit. So he like, in terms of designer, like he really has been kind of copied his own style.
With the J's. I credit Dolph with that. Designing with J's.
Nah, it is, huh?
I give Dolph a lot of credit with that. I ain't never really seen a nigga doing it until he did it.
These are the two best fits. You got the two last pictures of the two best fits I've seen.
I bet we got a couple more on.
Definitely got that shit on.
Don't worry. I bet next up, we got Finesse 2 times. Somewhere look like he in Miami. Matching jacket with the matching
jail. He be
with the matching jeans, and I think the white forces. He got that shit on, or do he need to be put out? Put out or put on?
This young man was just released from incarceration, and it looks like it. This
Damn.
Thank you, Monty. She nods her head in the background like his pants have hands on them, and those look like male. Hey, I'm not.
Oh yeah, bro! Don't come for finesse like that, bro.
Saying,
God
like,
damn.
Why your clothes got hands on them? Like, man, am I tripping? Why your clothes got hands on them? Like, my clothes don't got hands on them neither. So, like, free. Come on, we all the way mobtizing free that boy finesse. Finesse free. Come on now, but he don't got that shit on.
Damn.
Yeah, too real.
Next up, we got Tay Keith with the Gucci tracksuit on and the Gucci sneakers with the Mickey Mouse collaboration.
Let me see.
Did Tay Keith did he put on or did he need to be put out?
I'm not a fan of these sneakers. I cannot lie. Even the new Balenciaga joints, like, don't need prosthetic shoes on my feet.
Okay.
But just because of the sweatsuit, and this brother is now actually a professor at Middle Tennessee State.
Shout out to Tay Keith.
Come on now, you feel what I'm saying? After graduating from there, you feel what I'm saying? So just because people pursuing higher education, he put that shit on.
Put that shit on? Cool, I bet. Now next up, one of Tay Keith's favorite, somebody who loves working with Tay Keith. We got Mr. Key Glock. I'm going to show a couple photos. So he got the Montclair jacket on, what I believe the Montclair shirt, white jeans. Then he got on the pink snakeskin Jordans. I'll just go ahead, make sure you get a close-up on the Jordans so you can see the details with the socks and how it match up with the jacket.
The pink snakeskin is crazy. That's hard.
And then here goes the full body. Somewhere in Manhattan, New York, sipping on something. Josh, I'm going to lay him out for you, bro. Key Glock.
I got that shit on.
Did he put that shit on or do he need to be put out?
Nah, the young niggas in the city, like, you feel what I'm saying? We coming hard. Now, he got that shit on. Like, the Montclair, the pink inside the pink Montclair sweater with the pink on the inside of the jacket. 10 out of 10. Can't lie. The snakeskin with the 11s, not the J, the 11s. Like, come on now. Cause I ain't got his family around his neck. Like, come on now, easy. And this is a recent photo too. Cause I see the Instagram. This is glaucoma 2 as the cover. So this is a recent photo. So
actually, bro, that photo is actually old. I just screenshotted it today.
Oh,
yeah, that photo from like 2020 maybe, 2019.
That's relatively soon.
Relatively soon.
You got that shit on, bro.
Got that shit on?
For sure.
I bet. Next up, like I said before, we got the legends from Memphis. Kingpin Skinny Pimp in a 3-piece suit with a nice mink coat and definitely got his brim on with his cane. Kingpin Skinny Pimp, he put on or do he need to be put the hell out?
See, this the shit. This the shit for Papa Scott. Like, this is the more old school player.
Mm-hmm.
Feel what I'm saying? I wouldn't be called dead or nothing like this, but because I respect eras, I respect stuff like that. Like it's giving Frank Lucas. It's giving Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas, sure. Kingpin Skinny Pimp put on.
Come on now, he got it on. He got it on for his era. He got it on
for his era. I bet. Now we got a couple more. Moneybag Yo. I bet I got you. Okay. Moneybag Yo. Gucci belt, Gucci coat, white ones, and I think a Gucci hat. Josh, put on or put out?
This is Young Bag, too. He got that shit on, but he ugly as hell.
Damn.
Because this is in the back of a cafeteria, first of all. And, like, I can tell this Young Bag, he not bossed up with, like... He got it on, but he ugly in this picture.
I bet. We want Block to redeem himself because I rock with Block. Block got on... neon green and black
bright
hat,
ass shit from the behind the picture.
Black shirt with the neon green jacket and the neon and black neon green and black Dior's. Black boy JB. He put
you
on.
hating money on guy? He got that shit on. He does look like a crossing guard with the jacket, but he matched the crossing guard jacket with the shoes and the hat and the chain. You see the grape? Come on now, I ain't gonna tell you what the affiliation is, but you pretty smart. You know what that means. So like that's hard. That's hard. As somebody that will wear this, the neon Louis V belt, he got that shit on, bro. He got that shit on.
Bet.
I might have to put Bag out of here because it.
All right, hold on. I got another one for Bag. Get in on this one because we got to wrap up. But this is Moneybag Yo. Louis Vuitton crossbody, and I don't know what none of the other brands of that is, but he matching up. Bag got it on, or do he need to be put out? Put on or put out?
Jeans a little tight. Jeans a little tight. Hey, man, big ass shoes at the bottom. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of that. But like the puffer, like the hat, big fan of the crossbody bags because I'm securing my masculinity.
There you go.
So, and the belt with the Louis V belt. So I'm gonna say top half. Got that shit on. Got that shit on the top half.
Bet.
Especially after more than that shit.
So Bag redeemed itself.
Factuals.
I bet. Listen, y'all. This has been Put On or Put Out, where we rate hip hop fashion. Josh, appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you for having me,
This is
brother.
Kato. No problem. This is Kato. And as always, I got more to say. All right, bet.